Next on Woodsongs from Canada, Old Man Luedecke.
I rode a long way on a one-trick pony. I broke faces that were cold and stony. And in the evening where the
An award-winning songwriter, Sarah Jarosz.
Build me up from bones, wrap me up in skin, hold me close enough to breathe me in.
The television broadcast of the Woodsongs Old Time Radio Hour is presented in part by the Martin Guitar Company, making handcrafted guitars since 1833. Online at martinguitar.com. The Lexington Convention and Visitors Bureau, providing information to visit Lexington, Kentucky online at visitlex.com. By Folkbook, a social media site for arts and music, online at folk-book.com. And by Time Warner Cable, providing cable, telephone, and internet service.
Here on the Louisiana Hayride, his name is Hank Williams. The
From the Grand Ole Opry, Bill Monroe and his Bluegrass Boys.
Hi, this is Bruce Horns. Hi, this is Kevin Moe.
Hey folks, this is Bela Fleck.
Hi folks, this is Sam Bush.
Hello, this is Odetta.
This is Joan Baez, and you're listening to the Woodsongs Old Time Radio Hour.
And now, gather the family around and sit back in your easy chair. It's time again for the Woodsongs Old Time Radio Hour, our worldwide celebration of grassroots music. Let's welcome folk singer, author, and tree hugger, Michael Jonathan.
It's another foggy morning. I struggle with a foggy moment, parts of dreams running round my head. So I reach across jumbled covers, searching for a morning lover. That's the way I wanna be with you. Once upon a time I thought I knew I would be forever blue, looking for a magic moment, searching for my one and only you. Then I found my lady lass, looking through a looking glass, and that's the way I wanna be with you. Once upon a time I thought I knew I would never find another you, looking for a magic moment, searching for my one and only you. Then I found my lady lass, looking through a looking glass, and that's the way I wanna be with you. It's another foggy morning. I struggle with a foggy moment, parts of dreams running around my head. So I reach across jumbled covers, searching for my lady lover. That's the way I wanna stay with you. And welcome to the historic Lyric Theater, here we are in our hometown of Lexington, Kentucky, the crossroads of America's folk and bluegrass music. This is the gateway city to the beautiful Appalachian Mountains, where so much wonderful art and passion and spirit does come from. Bluegrass and folk music and roots music of all kind spawned from the foothills of Appalachia and have gone all around the world. And artists come from everywhere to be on our show, where we celebrate this beautiful world of grassroots music. We liken it to a diamond that has many different facets. It's folk and blues, it's bluegrass, country, Celtic, old-timey, new singer-songwriters. Sometimes it's rock or classical. We've even had opera on the stage. We celebrate everything because we love everything. It's all part of the same musical diamond. So that's what Woodsongs is about. You don't have to be famous to be on Woodsongs. You just have to be very, very good. And we have two wonderful artists here for the entire hour. Our first guest comes all the way from the nation of Canada. He's a young man, still in his 30s, a wonderful banjo player and traditional artist. He's got a new album called Tender Is the Night. He'll introduce himself with a song called Kingdom Come from that album. Please welcome from Canada, Old Man Luedecke to the Woodsongs Old Time Radio Hour.
Trick pony, I broke faces that were cold and stony. And in the evening where the night meets the gloaming, like a pigeon, well, my heart goes homing. I have been subject to change, not what I'd rearrange. I never flock with those fancy feathers. I've met all my friends in unfair weather. I belong when the kingdom come, when the kingdom come. I belong when the kingdom come, when the kingdom come. I belong when the kingdom come, when the kingdom come. Kingdom come, whoa, whoa. Kingdom come, whoa, whoa. I was crying in the wilderness. It's a pretty good place to build a home, I guess. And I know the baby born in Bethlehem. I saw the star that brought the wise men unto him. Sunflower grows by my cottage door, grown 12 feet or maybe more. Face to the sun and wanting more, like a lion without a roar. I belong when the kingdom come, when the kingdom come. I belong when the kingdom come, when the kingdom come. I belong when the kingdom come, when the kingdom come. Kingdom come, whoa. Kingdom come, whoa. Stars are allowed to sing. I believe in the small and the free as I gaze from heights that are wuthering. Let gold and doubt come along. Let my heart be filled with song. I never flock with those fancy feathers. I've met all my friends in unfair weather. I belong when the kingdom come, when the kingdom come. I belong when the kingdom come, when the kingdom come. I belong when the kingdom come, when the kingdom come. Kingdom come, whoa. Kingdom come, whoa. Thanks very much.
The CD is Tender Is the Night. And the artist is Old Man Luedecke, and do I call you Old Man, or do I?
Chris is good.
Chris is good, right? That's your real name. How did the name Old Man hook on? How did that happen?
Well, I don't know if it's the same thing here, but when you play the banjo, you tend to get nicknames, and I thought we had that one off at the pass. I always liked.
So you preempted a nickname?
Yeah, well, they called me that at work. At the last job I had, they started calling me that. There was a guy who said, "Stay away from that Old Man Luedecke, he'll talk your ear off about the banjo," which was true at the time. And then I got in, then I became hip to the fact that, I kept the name because of Grandpa Jones and Uncle Dave Macon and that sort of thing, the solo banjo players, that seemed to fit.
So it's a great story. I mean, you're still in your mid-30s,
Yeah.
and you're referred to as Old Man, so.
I've been it since I was 22.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're Old Man since you're 22. You're going to regret that when you're 70. Now, you are coming from the same kind of tradition as, say, a Ralph Stanley or a Pete Seeger, sort of in Canada. You've won the Canadian version of the Grammys by winning Juno Awards and stuff. Congratulations on that. So, but you didn't start out on the banjo. You started out like the clarinet?
Yeah, the other instrument you can get beat up for playing.
Yeah. I wasn't going to say that, but I'm glad you did. I mean, so there was obviously the search for beautiful women were not involved in your musical choices.
That's right.
So so how did the banjo come to play then? You started on piano and clarinet. When did the attraction to the 5-string?
Well, I guess I had bought a Carter Family album and a couple of Pete Seeger records, but I was living up in the Yukon in Dawson City, not far from the Arctic Circle, in the gold rush town of Dawson City, and somebody had a banjo one night, and I think it was kind of like ballet. I sort of thought, it's too late in my 20s to start doing ballet, but maybe I can get away with the banjo. And it just seemed kind of like a lonesome instrument that I didn't know much about. Nobody knew how to play the thing.
Well, it's lonesome. You play the banjo in Yukon, I can guarantee you're not going to have a lot of company.
That's right, not a lot of company there.
Hey, we have a lot of listeners in the Yukon, so let's say hi to everybody up there. Way up there in northern Canada. One of their own is on our stage. So you picked up the banjo. When did you start noticing that, hey, I'm good at this?
Well, I don't know that I ever, got there yet, but I noticed pretty quickly, like after I learned how to tune it, although that's a multi-year process, that I could write songs with it that sort of made me feel unlike anything that I'd ever felt before with anything. I had been really searching for an outlet for what I had to say, and it seemed like the banjo was just a place that had just enough, had a rhythm and accompanied itself in a way that made my whole being sort of go,
Well, I think in the second half hour we're going to ask you to give us a mini banjo lesson in your frailing style, which you're extremely smooth and fluid at. So we're going to explore that a little bit in the second half hour. But you've got a new album. It's called Tender Is the Night, and this is a song on that album called This May Hurt a Bit. It's Old Man Luedecke on the Woodsongs. Old Time Radio.
I'm just wondering if you noticed that I've been gone a long time. Just wondering if you noticed that I come back today. Think I finally found something I can really hold on to. I might suffer when I'm near, but I can't bear being away. Ba-da-ba-ba-dee-ba-ba-da. Well, we started something, burned a lot hotter than a brush fire. You tried to throw the brake, but the train had run away. Got lost in the woods without the trail of breadcrumbs. We tried just friends, but our hands got in the way. Ba-da-ba-ba-dee-ba-ba-da. This may hurt a bit, but this is love, it's it. It's a coming of the light, breaking through the night, it's love. This may hurt a bit, but this is love, it's it. It's a coming of the light, breaking through the night, it's love. Ba-da-ba-ba-dee-ba-ba-da. So I spent a season out there in the wilderness, just to try and go down and try and understand how something so right could hurt and burn like a fever. That I'm lost without you and yield to your demands. Ba-da-ba-ba-dee-ba-ba-da. This may hurt a bit, but this is love, it's it. It's a coming of the light, breaking through the night, it's love. This may hurt a bit, but but this is love, it's it. It's a coming of the light, breaking through the night, it's love. Ba-da-ba-ba-dee-ba-ba-da. Saw a red moon rising up the first base line at the ballpark, and a foul ball became a grand slam. Well, a man and a woman, we are two planets aligning. I can't be happy till I wear your wedding band. Ba-da-ba-ba-dee-ba-ba-da. This may hurt a bit, but this is love, it's it. It's the coming of the light, breaking through the night, it's love. It's the coming of the light, breaking through the night, it's love. It's love, love, love. It's love, love, love. It's the coming of the light, breaking through the night, it's love. Ba-da-ba-ba-dee-ba-ba-da. Thank you.
Old Man Luedecke from Canada on the banjo, and Joel Hunt playing the fiddle. You did a great job, didn't he? Joel Hunt. Thank you, Joel. If you want to know more about Old Man Luedecke and his new album, Tender is the Night, we encourage you to visit our website, woodsongs.com. If you click on the archive page, this is show number 733. We'll let you know everything you need to know about Chris Luedecke and his projects, as well as our next artist that is just incredible and making waves in the whole newgrass movement. She's been put in the same category as Chris Thiele and Noam Pikelny and so many others. Rolling Stone magazine compared her to Gillian Welch. New York Times hailed her as one of the acoustic music's finest talents, and we're very glad that she could be here. She's playing the title cut from her brand new album. It's called Build Me Up From Bones. Please welcome from New York, Sarah Jarosz to the Woodsongs Old Time Radio.
Build me up from bones, wrap me up in skin, hold me close enough to breathe me in. The moon's a fingernail scratching on the back of the night in which we lay beside. I held every inch of you, I wrote every line for you, I made time when time was all but gone. You're the love I've always known. The night's so dark and gray, but you've helped me find my way through the wild and wonders of this world. So take me with you now, 'cause I need to show you how I can love you better than before. I held every inch of you, I wrote every line for you, I made time when time was all but gone. You're the love I've always known. So play it sweet and low, 'cause we've got nowhere to go. I am yours and you're the love I know. I held every inch of you, I wrote every line for you. I made time when time was all but gone. You're the love I've always known.
It's a title cut from her new album, Build Me Up from Bones. Sarah Jarosz, it's so nice to have you here. Thank you for coming all the way out and being on Woodsongs.
Thanks so much for having us.
Originally a Texas girl, is that right?
Yes, Wimberley, Texas.
Okay, and that's near
Austin.
Near Austin.
Mhm.
So you grew up around a lot of Nancy Griffith and Lyle Lovett and stuff like that, right?
Oh yeah.
Now, you were sort of a young prodigy of music. You were playing many different instruments at a young age. So was this in your family? I mean, do mom and dad teach you this stuff? How did it happen?
Not quite. I mean, my parents are huge music lovers, and my mom plays some guitar and writes songs as a hobby, but I kind of found a weekly Friday night bluegrass jam in Wimberley when I was about 10 years old, right after picking up the mandolin, and just going to that every week was really how I fell in love with it and with the community of musicians.
It is a community of musicians,
Mhm.
isn't it? And
Oh, yeah.
the festivals and the little community gatherings of music. So you were seeing not just guitar players, but mandolin players, and you have a banjo in your arms right now. So
Yeah.
you were seeing all these different things, and they attracted you?
Yeah. I mean, all of it attracted me, you know, and shortly after going to that weekly jam, I kind of started going to a lot of festivals, like Rocky Grass in Colorado was one of the first big ones for me, and just kind of the accessibility of being able to learn directly from my heroes that I was listening to was really inspiring and made me want to keep doing it.
And those festivals are marvelous because very often the best music doesn't necessarily happen on the main stages. They happen in the parking lots and the campgrounds where folks get together and just pick and jam till 3 and 4 in the morning.
Totally, that's exactly how it was.
So that's the world that you baptized yourself into, right?
Mhm.
Now you have folks like the New York Times and Rolling Stone magazine comparing you to the very heroes that you admire just a few years ago. That's quite a little rocket ship ride you're on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously incredibly honored by all of those things, so it's been a great ride so far.
Well, you were 16 years old. Let's back up a little. You're still a very young lady in your 20s, right?
Mhm.
16 years old. You get signed to Sugar Hill Records, which is arguably they and Rounder Records are the Roots music label, and
Mhm.
Sam Bush is on the label and stuff. So you get signed to this label. How did that happen?
Well, I had the opportunity to play at the Telluride Bluegrass Festival when I was 16, and that's where I met Gary Pachosa, who I've...
Your producer.
Yeah, we've worked on all 3 of my records, and he's also the A&R guy for Sugar Hill, and so it was through meeting him that, you know, kind of for the remainder of that year, we kept in touch, and that's how I got signed to Sugar Hill.
Crossing the world of bluegrass and folk with a classical texture, she's on stage with Nathaniel Smith on cello, Alex Hargreaves on fiddle. I hope I pronounced that right. And Sarah has her banjo in her arms. We're going to go back into her CD, Build Me Up from Bones. This is a tune called Fuel the Fire. It's Sarah Jarosz on the Woodsongs, Old Time Radio.
When I begin to crumble and the walls begin to fall, someone
It's the wonderful Sarah Jarosz on banjo, Nick Smith on cello, Alex Hargreaves on fiddle. Wonderful job from their CD, Build Me Up From Bones. We'll be back in the second half hour also with a friend from Canada, Old Man Luedecke. We've got great music, conversation, and we're going to learn us some banjo. Stay right where you are. We'll be back right after this.
Tim O'Brien, and you're exploring the world of grassroots music with folk singer Michael Jonathan here on Woodsongs Old Time Radio Hour.
And thank you, Tim O'Brien. There's a good multi-instrumental guy, and he's going to be on the show in a few weeks with Daryl Scott, and we'll be on the show with Ron Block from Allison Krauss and Union Station. We're broadcasting around the world, having a wonderful time celebrating the magnificent world of grassroots art and folk music. We're on the air on 500 radio stations worldwide. We're also on the air on American Forces Radio Network in 173 nations, every military base, every U.S. naval ship at sea. And we always want to say hello to all the folks out there that are listening, tuning in. We're also online. If you'd like to send me an email, we love to hear from our listeners. My email address is very simple. It's michael@woodsongs.com. Well, we've got good music for you. He's here all the way from Canada. He's a magnificent traditional banjo player, and he's going to dip into an unrecorded song as a treat for the Woodsongs audience. This is a tune called Yodel Lady. I can only wait. It's Old Man Luedecke on the Woodsongs, Old Time Radio.
We were camping, we were boiling up the beans and making coffee with the waters of the stream, and we slept outside and we slept inside too. And for so many nights of sleeping, Lord, I only want to sleep with you. Yodel lady of my dreams, yodel lady. Yeah, you make my blood run clean, yodel lady of my dreams. Yodel lady, yodel lady, yodel lady. You came dancing through the landscape of my sleep when you asked me, what if I'm the one you wed? I tried to kiss you, but I got drawn instead. Yodel lady of my dreams, yodel lady. Yeah, you make my blood run clean, yodel lady of my dreams. Yodel lady, yodel lady, yodel lady. You broke my loneliness when you came to me and smiled. Well, man, I never think that you could ever be shy. You broke me like an egg over the hills and valleys. Well, folks, I was the yoke of love broken and brilliant on the trees. Yodel lady of my dreams, yodel lady. Yeah, you make my blood run clean, yodel lady of my dreams. Yodel lady, yodel lady, yodel lady, yodel lady, yodel lady, yodel lady.
Yodel Lady, unrecorded, but it ought to be. Let's say now, Chris, you're holding the banjo, and what I'd like you to do is give me a claw hammer technique. Show me what you're doing.
Show something?
Yeah, let's teach the audience what you're doing. A little banjo lesson here.
I'm playing, I'm a nail biter, so I'm playing with varying degrees of middle fingernail and my ring fingernail. And this is just straight out of the Pete Seeger book, so I might not have read it right, but
the boom diddy, boom diddy, boom diddy?
The bump diddy, yeah. I spent quite a bit of time with that.
So let's back up now. What tuning are you in right now?
Well, this is just open G. I just
Open
thought I
G.
would keep it simple. It turned out not to be that way today, but that's one of those things.
Yeah.
But here, I'm striking down. It's all a downward motion, and then every now and then I bring my thumb in and confuse the issue and throw the bar lines off a bit. That's basically all it is, and then I just write songs over it. And
So when you were first starting, I mean, you would learn the basic technique and just sit in a chair and watch TV for 10 hours, just do it over and over again while you were...
Yeah, except without the TV. It's all just a very simple thing that you just do over and over again until it's too much, and then it just, for whatever reason, it just seemed to be a perfect harness for the way that I think lyrically, and I was able to hear songs on it that are otherwise, that otherwise might not have gotten written if I'd been playing the
Well,
guitar.
I mean, there's a lot of depth and poetry on your CD. I mean, you have a song about F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Yeah, right.
Right. We're moving into a song about Ian Tyson right now. So what is it about the voice of the banjo? It's not normally associated with the depth of lyric.
Yeah, I think it's just the way that it structures time in a really nice way, and then it can accompany itself, and it just never stops moving, and I think that's just the most important thing for me, in music, is just to have it keep going. I know that that's just kind of what I like. So I think that my natural tendency would be to write sort of woe is me songs, and sort of let them drift. But with the banjo, it sort of forces this concision, which is pretty cool.
Well, oddly enough, most early banjo songs are all murder ballads.
Yeah,
and
right.
Stuff, so.
I haven't got there yet.
Yeah, right. You're not there yet. Give yourself time. You happened upon Tim O'Brien, who's one of the finest instrumentalists in roots music, and he produced this album with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did that happen?
I had played a few shows with him in England a few years ago, and then he played on my last CD. He came to Vancouver, and I thought to play on the record, and I thought, well, what would it be like if I could get Tim to actually produce the record? And actually, I thought, what would it be like if I could, what kind of real-time like record, like the one that he made with Daryl Scott, how would that work for me? And it was just a real thrill.
You're talking about just going in the studio and just flat out doing it.
Yeah, like that's what we did. I went to Nashville for 4 days, and we banged it out, and it was just one of the most magnificent 4 days of my life, really. It was just a great place to be.
Well, it worked out. It's a beautiful sounding record. You guys did a great job. Let's get into it. It's called Tender is the Night. That's the name of the new album, produced by Tim O'Brien. This is a tune from that album as he picks up his guitar on this one. It's called Song for Ian Tyson, of course, a great hero to Canadian musicians. It's Old Man Luedecke on the Woodsongs Old Time Radio Hour.
Them old cowboys don't sing too much no more. They've been singing to the wind, and their throats are sore. And every love they rode away from makes them walk the floor. Them old cowboys don't sing too much no more. Like an old wolf in a leg trap, they'll stand up fierce when you come. They want to be counted, but their time has not come. just an old man drowning in a 10-gallon hat, like an old wolf caught in a leg trap. Ah, but dry and dusty, whiskey makes the guitar rusty, soothes the voice like honey for a while. Raise a glass to the cowboy friend whose like we'll never see again, whose songs roll on like water for all time. All way out on the prairie, the cowboy wrote his songs. Long have grown the grasses round the spring where he sat along, whose crystal shattered fettered souls of all who listen long, as the cowboy strummed in time along. Oh, dry and dusty, whiskey makes the guitar rusty, soothes the voice like honey for a while. Raise a glass to the cowboy friend whose like we'll never see again, whose songs roll on like water for all time. Whose songs roll on like water for all time.
Called A Song for Ian Tyson from his CD Tender Is the Night. From Canada, Old Man Luedecke, and the wonderful Joel Hunt again playing mandolin, doing a great job. If you want to know more about Chris Luedecke, they call him Old Man Luedecke from Canada, just visit our website, woodsongs.com. If you click on the archive page, this is show number 733. We'll let you know everything you need to know about Old Man Luedecke, as well as the wonderful guest that's standing here now with her acoustic guitar. She's got two great friends with her, one on cello, one on fiddle, and a brand new album called Build Me Up From Bones. This is her first single off that album. It's called Over the Edge. Welcome her back. It's Sarah Jarosz on the Woodsongs, Old Time Radio.
Flip the switch and turn the net on. Drop the needle on an old song. Break the ice and pour it my way. Turn the key and light the highway. Lay me down beneath the shadows. Meet me where the wild things grow. Kick the moon and watch it shatter. I don't mind if it don't matter. Hanging out over the edge. Hanging out over the edge. endless cries of complication. Is anybody even listening? Hanging out over the edge. Hanging out over the edge. Hanging out over the edge. Hanging out over the
Her CD on Sugar Hill Records is called Build Me Up From Bones, Sarah Jarosz. So you 10 years old, you go to this bluegrass gathering and you start playing mandolin and banjo.
Mm-hmm.
And then as a teenager, you get signed to one of the biggest bluegrass labels around, Sugar Hill Records, and you go from the world of playing from the heart and nothing's written down to the New England Conservatory of Music, where everything's written down.
Mhm.
It's learning to read music and charts and stuff. That must have been a left brain, right brain type transition for you.
Well, I was pretty lucky early on to have a great music teacher, actually, at the school that I went to growing up, Diana Reapy, and she kind of taught with the Kodai method. So I had some, basic music theory skills going into it, but it definitely, going to NEC, it pushed that quite a bit.
So among the professors and stuff, and now their world, everybody has their world, right? There's nothing wrong with either world. The music's on a chart, Mozart, Beethoven and stuff. The other, the music is from the heart, Bill Monroe and what others are doing. Which one felt most natural to you?
Oh, well, I think there's certainly a place for all of that, and I think that's a really great thing about NEC. The majority of the school is a classical conservatory, but the program that I was actually involved in is called Contemporary Improvisation. And so there's actually way more of a kind of focus on ear training and really stretching your ear to learn a lot of different melodies. I mean, I had this class with Rand Blake, who's an incredible musician, and he had me learning all sorts of Abbey Lincoln and Billie Holiday tunes.
Fun. Well, how about going from the music side to the writing poetry side, which is, half of a song is the lyric. I mean, is that something that came natural to you? I mean, structuring the words around the pattern of the chord structure that you were writing. I mean, that's not always an easy thing to do.
Right. Well, it's funny you say that because, I had been writing songs since I was about 12, working on that. And then in my final year at NEC, I had some more free electives, and so I was able to take a poetry class with this lady, Ruth Lepson, and I became really close to her in my last year. And it was interesting to me to kind of write words not in a lyrical setting and kind of have the freedom to just write not being fit into this mold, so to speak. And I think that really helped me grow a lot, especially with this last record.
Absolutely. The depth of her skills are in her new album. It's called Build Me Up From Bones. This is a song she co-wrote with Daryl Scott. It's called 1,000 Things. It's Sarah Jarosz on the Woodsongs, Old Time Radio.
Childish ways, they can't be far behind me. She once lived here, my old friend Fear, ceaselessly to remind me. Yes, yes, I hear you. You with the words that hide from me. But the ones that introduce themselves say 1,000 things to me. Say 1,000 things to me. You may not feel the burning sweat, but the fire is raging inside her. It's burning through the black and blue, searing through all that I call mine. Yes, yes, I feel you. I find that I don't do so well with the words that hide from me. But the ones that introduce themselves say 1,000 things to me. Say 1,000 things to me.
Our CD on Sugar Hill Records, Build Me Up from Bones. Wasn't it great having Sarah Jarosz on our broadcast, and all the way from Canada, old man Luedecke and his banjo. Sarah talked about it when she was 10 years old. She found a community of bluegrass musicians that helped ignite the fire in her musical heart. Old man Luedecke described the same, that learning to play, it was a voice. It was a voice within him that he was able to bring through the banjo, and it was in the hands and spirit of others that he was able to do this. It makes music such a wonderful community. It makes art such an amazing community. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow said that music is the universal language of mankind, and that universal language shows itself among friends and family, on front porches and living room couches, not just festival stages and theaters around the world. Robert Fripp said something important, I thought. He said, music is the wine that fills the cup of silence. And years ago, a friend of mine, Kevin Johnson, the wonderful engineer for Woodsongs, that amazing man, we sat down and we wanted to find the community of roots musicians around the world. We wanted to find that wine that would fill the silence that we felt in this world. And Kevin was one of the very first believers that made it possible for Woodsongs to grow and be around the world and to get on so many radio stations and be able to have artists like Old Man Luedecke and Sarah Jarosz on a broadcast in front of millions of people. It's heart and it's passion, it's dedication, it's belief. And Kevin Johnson was one of the very first believers. We're grateful to him, the entire Woodsongs volunteer crew, and especially you, the audience, for making Woodsongs possible to broadcast around the world. My name is Michael Jonathan. I'm a folk singer. I'm a log cabin dweller. And we'll see you next week on the Woodsongs Old Time Radio Hour. Good night.
You've been listening to Woodsongs broadcast number 733. Michael's opening song was called The Looking Glass, featuring Melissa Deaton on vocals, Scott Napier on mandolin, and AJ Doherty on bass. The Woodsongs crew member of the week is our incredibly handsome and wonderful Kevin Darth Vader Johnson.
Thank you for tuning in. There are so many talented artists that appear on our stage. It's very hard sometimes to pick the ones that appear on our TV broadcast. So what we're going to do is leave you with a performance from our huge online archive of past shows. We'll see you next time on the Woodsongs Old Time Radio Hour. Tune called Oh Dear. It's Brandi Carlile on the Woodsongs Old Time Radio Hour.
Closed captioning provided by the Deering Banjo Company. The television broadcast of the Woodsongs Old Time Radio Hour is presented in part by the Martin Guitar Company, making handcrafted guitars since 1833. Online at martinguitar.com. The Lexington Convention and Visitors Bureau, providing information to visit Lexington, Kentucky online at visitlex.com. By Folkbook, a social media site for arts and music, online at folk-book.com. And by Time Warner Cable, providing cable, telephone, and internet service.